Humans love shooting robots at Mars. Since 1960, there have been a total of 56 missions to the rusty red planet. Right now, there are 6 active satellites orbiting the planet, and down on the surface, the InSight lander and Curiosity rover are still going about their missions. They may have some companies soon, as we've set our sights on Mars again with NASA's Perseverance rover due to launch later in the summer of 2020. So, with so many missions to Mars already, what will Perseverance do that the previous 56 missions didn't? Well, hopefully, get to Mars safely, of course. That's kind of step one for any extraplanetary excursion. But plenty of past missions failed by missing the planet, crashing into the planet, or just didn't get off our own planet entirely. Remember those 56 missions? Well, fewer than half were successful. Of course, once Perseverance gets there, it has to land. Perseverance is very similar to Curiosity, so the famous 7 minutes of terror landing technique from 2012, including the Sky Crane final stage, will see action a second time. Reusing successful designs and spare hardware helps save money, time, and reduces risk. This time, though, some upgraded tech will make the landing more accurate than ever. The first is a range trigger, also known as a smart chute. Curiosity opened its parachute as soon as the heat shield slowed the craft to a desired speed, but Perseverance will deploy its chute earlier or later, depending on how far it is from its landing target. The second improvement to Perseverance's landing is terrain relative navigation. Using a bevy of onboard cameras to study the rapidly approaching surface and comparing it to maps of the landing site, the rover can divert itself from hazards and land in a safer area. All the additional cameras and a microphone on board the rover mean engineers will get a better understanding of what's happening during a risky and crucial part of the mission. But they also mean that we, the general public, can be right there along for the ride. We are going to get to virtually strap in for the 7 minutes of terror, and I, for one, cannot wait. These improvements will shrink the target area the rover will land in by over 50%, down to an ellipse about 10 kilometers in diameter. With a shrunken landing area, the rover can land a couple of kilometers closer to its prime worksite. That may not sound like much, but considering the slow and careful pace the rover has to traverse the planet, it could save as much as a year in commute time, effectively getting more useful time out of the mission's limited lifespan. The new rover will also feature updated software that allows for more autonomous driving and resource management, as well as improved wheels after Curiosity's deteriorated faster than expected. Hopefully, Perseverance turns out to be a fitting name. There's another benefit to the precision landing, and it is a game changer for Mars missions. Perseverance can finally study more interesting parts of Mars that were previously off limits because of perilous terrain. Places that, because of that terrain, may still harbor evidence of ancient microbial life. The mission's chosen landing site is Jezero Crater. While it's dry today, scientists believe it was once an ancient river delta, and thus could have supported life. Sniffing out biosignatures is Perseverance's main mission, and its onboard suite of tools reflects that. It has a larger turret at the end of its robotic arm, and it houses a camera, 2 science instruments, and a drill to collect rock cores. And of course, scientists took this opportunity to give the instruments amusing acronyms, like MOXIE, the experiment for producing oxygen, and the Sherlock UV laser that can detect organic compounds. Inside the rover's body is a workspace dedicated to caching those rock core samples in tubes that the rover will then leave on the surface of Mars. Why would they leave them behind, I hear you ask? Because Perseverance is actually the first of a new type of mission. Thanks to the landing techniques it will pioneer, future missions will be able to land close to this precious cache of samples, collect them, and return them to Earth where they can be studied in labs. Everything has been building to this. The lessons learned from failures, misses, crashes, the data from orbiters, the experience from past successful landings, all of it brings us to Perseverance. After 60 years of launches, humans may be just 2 more steps away from laying our hands on Martian soil and knowing that we're not alone. Hey, remember Curiosity's wheels and how they had that odd cutout pattern? It has a useful purpose, but it also spells out JPL in Morse code. Yeah, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory has been stamping its name all over Mars for the last 8 years. If you want to check out more on how Perseverance will try and make oxygen on Mars, check out this Focal Point episode on MOXIE. Be sure to subscribe to Seeker, and thanks for watching.